C1 Music FM, the familiar, it's your boy Deuce. We definitely in the building all day, every day. Now we do. We're going to get started with some good music first, and then we're going to get into our show tonight. If you want to call in, 805-399-1200 is the telephone number, and the passcode is 105-431#. Definitely join us. Tonight we're talking about The Choice, and we definitely want to get you guys comments on tonight's topic. So definitely join in. You know what I mean? Hopefully we have a good conversation tonight. I'm looking forward to it. So let's get it in. Actually, we're gonna start off with love music from Level 316 and TJ Pompeo on C1 Music for the familiar. Get at your boy. Let's get it.
It don't take much for me to say this. Hands down, you're the hottest song up on my playlist. If this was fame, you would make the A-list, and I would be a red carpet making way for greatness. But this is far more than just a statement. I'm ejecting what's inside. My love is flowing out the tape deck. For you to take death and exchange it for your glory paves the way for righteousness and many chapters to my story. Boy, that's too much for me to handle. If I had 1,000 tongues, it couldn't even do the damage. You construct my canvas, purposeful with every stroke you make. You take my breath away. This love will never vanish.
This is love that you give to me, and it's more than love for my eyes to see. That this love is like a shooting star, and it points to you. 'Cause that's who you are.
True love, it doesn't boast. It carries hope even though the world sees it as a joke. But we trying to see the script flip, bringing love to a new level like 316. I have faith in this love, taste in this love. Seattle swag, this love rains from above. I ain't the same, I changed within, cause I was living in prison and sin. Now I'm forgiven and living in him. In the Father's eyes, I see love personified, but in my heart I hide when I'm hard with pride. Christ the martyr died for the sake of love, and the sacrifice, it was great enough. This is love, it's a lyrical melody, no feeling the spiritual eloquence of its eloquency. It lifts me up when my day's rough. I got this, so there's nothing left to say but
this is love that you give to me, and it's more than love for my eyes to see. That this love is like a shooting star, and it points to you. 'Cause that's who you are. Nothing like it. Words fail to describe it. Immeasurable, no one knows. How big, how high, how deep, how wide. It flows for all. Perfect forever. Nothing is greater.
yo, he's so official, loading my heart with his love, the poet's pistol. Shooting that light to the dark, I know it hit you under the surface, being blood purchased so you can land right on the mark. 12:30, pointing up at him like 12:30. The great I am 12:30, and be prepared, he may be coming back like 12:30.
This is love, open doors, dinner dates, something fancy, whatever you can do to romance me. That this is love, never ending sentiments of lists that get longer and longer depending on the day. Tell me, what is love? I hope you're hearing me in large hearts, perfect pursuit, never ending passion, death on the cross, you resurrected. I'm feeling for your unconditional love. You got me high like the wings of a dove, Lord, I'm so gone.
This is love that you give to me, and it's more than love for my eyes to see. That this love is like a shooting star, and it points to you. 'Cause that's who you are. Never had a love like this before. Oh no, a love so strong I couldn't ask for more. No, no, that's the way you love me. That's the way you love me. That's the way you love me. That's the way. That's the way. That's the way. That's the way.
Father, thunder, lightning clapping. Raining on my window, painting, praying I make something happen. A preacher's prophecies never bothered me when I was younger. Sitting on my grandma's lap, and she cried, I often wondered, what was her tears for? Could it be for my grandfather? Or maybe she felt for me cause I see more of those cold tomorrows than she see. The world will up and turn on me cause the morals that she often spoke were meant for 1923. I fall asleep off in her arms. My song was spoken, the Lord is surely my shepherd. He lead me to the water, thought that often stuck with me. Amongst the wolves that run the streets, I hear paying dues and lose. I pray your angels come for me. A non-believer I never have and never could be. Lord, give me time to peep the signs I should see. Sipping got me feeling like a player, riding clean, bending corners, hoping I might find my savior on the curb. I rarely go to church, false prophets rocking Prada, so I rarely feel the word. Jezebel's lurking in the pews on the first. Preachers weaker than the deacon cause it's hard to fight the urge. It's hard to live and serve when you on the devil's turf. Sell your soul for the Lord with no sense of what it's worth. Don't get it twisted, I ain't no saint, I ain't no pastor. But praying just for cloudy days and natural disasters. Beware what comes after. Bet you ain't for sure. I was warned that heaven ain't the only place to go. I'm doing what I can cause there really ain't much time. I leave this in the Lord's hands. I'm tired of crying. Forgive us for we know not what we do. Am I biased? I've been pious, put my nose up in the pews. Like Paul, I bear good news. They think I'm power bearing. My message sounds like death to these hearers as they perish. Scary to think we on the brink of death, but no one stops to look for answers on what happens next. Got a couple scriptures from my grandma, sayings from a preacher, but can't live out these standards that we heard it takes to reach her. But when I look at Jesus, he lived a life I couldn't. Suffer for my crimes so I wouldn't. I used to have to sneak into the movies cause I couldn't afford to pay. Explain to me how someone paid my way. When I hear Crit confessing, I respect them. Cause most of us be lying like our lives don't need perfecting. Nothing that we can muster, nothing that we can change. Admitting that we're imperfect, offending God with our games. Look, I'm just being honest, so don't take me for no lame. I seen it for myself, I'm a product of this thing. Now I found true religion, and it's not inside of denim. And them overpriced shades have never given us vision. Let's go. I know some people with more money than we'll ever see. Ever see someone buy a private island they never see? Ever see every seat on your own personal yacht? Take a jog around your block that you bought from selling your stock? Not in this lifetime. Some of them my partners, they don't believe in karma, but they believe in commas. And they believe they dollars for a peace of mind. Put a price up on their head and they be fine with that fine, cause you find when you can buy the park, you hate the rise. It was fun in the beginning, now it seems they not as thrilling. And you out to make a killing, but it never feels fulfilling. So they call me, tell me, pray to sound
Confessions
revealing.
of a millionaire. Lifestyles of the famous. There's nothing I can't have. You say it looks so amazing. Well, I would trade it away. For my city, confessions of a millionaire.
Look, I ain't finna pretend that my car and my crib give me worth and meaning, cause I know they never did. Them numbers in my bank account are no reason for living, and sleeping with bad women really doesn't keep me driven. I'm sure this man sitting beside me is beside himself, trying to find himself. Yeah, he flying first class, thinking everyone behind him is a peon. Going home to a model chick he probably gon' cheat on. He'll be empty for eons, you know what I be on. Money don't solve it all, man, look what happened to Dion. I bought my dream house, but it only made me wake up. It all falls down, even if you got your cake up.
Lifestyles of the famous. There's nothing I can't have. You say it looks so amazing. Well, I would trade it away. For my city, confessions of a millionaire.
I've flown first class, flown private jets, rode in foreign cars, still so unimpressed. Cause after she spent all that money on her chest, she thought it'd make her life better, but she finds she's still depressed. Ain't nothing wrong with having it, matter of fact, go and get it. But if you find identity in it, then gon' forget it. You gain the whole world, but lost the only thing you own. Cause everything else is just a temporary loan.
Lifestyles of the famous. There's nothing I can't have. You say it looks so amazing. Well, I would trade it away. For my city, confessions of a millionaire.
C1music.fm, the familiar, it's your boy Deuce. We definitely in the building. You know how we do, all day, every day. You know what I mean? And tonight, you rocking with your boy. You know, we talking about the choice tonight. That's the name of the topic for tonight. I got my man Tito in the building with me, my right hand. What's going on, Tito?
What's good? What's good?
Chillin', how you, bro?
I'm all right.
What's going on in the continent of Africa, man? Everything good?
Yeah, you know how it is.
Hey, definitely. Hey, I got, let's see here. Who else I got on here with me tonight? I got Carm in the building. What's going on, Carm?
Hello.
Carm is definitely in the building. That's what it do. Hopefully you ready for this good conversation we're about to have tonight. Let's see. I got two newbies here. I'm gonna get them in here. I got Pam in the building. What's going on, Pam?
Hi.
How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. And I got with us Dana in the building. What's going on, Dana?
Not a whole lot. Hello, everybody.
Cool. Shout out to the Philippines, man. I know they had the earthquake there this past week, so it's kind of been kind of crazy over there. And so keep them in your prayers as you know, as y'all go through your daily routines and stuff. For some of the people that lost their homes and stuff like that. And you know, they're like a big part of the show. I got a lot of fans and listeners from the Philippines that do follow the show, so I want to give them a shout out, man. I hope that everybody get back up and running. and everybody's good. You know. With that being said, the show is gonna go on, and we're gonna do it like this, man. I'm gonna start off with the first section. The name of the show tonight is called The Choice, and I know, Carm, I'm gonna pick on you right now because I know everybody else got a chance to see the question and you didn't. So I'm gonna ask you first this first question, see how you respond, and we're gonna take it from there. All right?
All right.
All right, cool. The question is choice. And then for one, for everybody who want to fall in, the call in, the number is 805-399-1200. Participant code is 105431#. And if you want to follow the questions, we are on the YouVersion Network right now. Live event. Look us up under c1music.fm. You can get the questions. You can submit some of your answers on the questions right there, or you can voice your opinion on the call. Now, I mean, we appreciate you, your support and everything. And here we go. Let's get it started. All right, the choice. I'm coming to you, Con. I'm starting it off like this. And this to scare everybody. I did this show once before, a long time ago. So, you know, Calm, I know you've called the show quite enough. So you might have heard this topic or heard me personally talk about this before. But in any case, I'm going to ask you a question and it starts off like this. Calm, what would you do if God put you in a position to make a choice as a leader of a whole nation? Let's take, for instance, if you was president of a country and a terrorist took your child hostage, leaving a ransom note stating, if you have a choice to save your child or save millions of people in your country, who would you choose to save? And be honest. Don't give us a political correct answer. Save your one child, or you save millions of people in your country. You're the president. Choice is yours. What do you do?
Well, my first thought is to go save my baby. That's my first thought. So sometimes you can't always go with your first mind. I mean, that would be very selfish of me. Millions of people. And
so when you say your first thought, is that the choice, though? Would you choose that, or are you just saying that's your first thought? That's just a thought.
That's my first thought. It's just a thought. I'm going to think preserving my family and go save my baby. But the choice that I would make, it'd be very hard, but I would choose the lives of millions of people.
Over the choice of your kid?
Say over the choice of my child. Because I've been raising my child, and my child will know God, have a relationship with God, and I believe that my child's going to be in a better place. I don't want my child to be there. I'd rather my child grow up and outlive me. But I would choose the lives of millions of people. But it would not be an easy choice. And God would have to work with me constantly on this for making that decision.
You'd be mad at God for that?
I wouldn't be mad at God, but I would just ask him to help me deal with it.
To help you deal with it?
To help me deal with that choice that I'm making.
Well, being president, you kind of chose that responsibility. You chose that life to make those type of hard decisions, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Right. Yes. To whom much is given, much is required. So that's part of it.
That's real, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My man Tito.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Well, there is no way this looks like an easy decision. But I want to look at it from a different perspective.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm the president, and I have thousands and thousands of people under my command. And every day a large chunk of those people go into foreign land or go into very dangerous situations, they sacrifice themselves on behalf of others. You know, the situation's kind of reversed. The danger didn't come to them. They went to the danger. And in doing so, they sacrificed everything, you know, they have, basically. So, essentially, if you look at that example, simply tells you that they understand what position they're at and they know what they have to do to get things done. Now, as the president, that means that my child does not come first. Unfortunately, what comes first is the people under me, is the people that I swore, you know, to work for, to protect, and to place my interests second to theirs. So it's going to be a tough choice. And I can't tell you that I'm not going to be tempted to, you know, say, forget the country, I'm going to save my child. You know, let's build up a strategy to get my child out of there. You know, I'm definitely going to be tempted to do that. But at the end of the day, what's going to count is my decision to stand firm and say, no, we're not going to move. We're not going to respond. I'm sorry. I know that's my son. I know that's my child. But it's not going to happen. Sorry. Well, but after it's all done, I'm going to make sure those terrorists remember what child they took, though.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
Let me hear you, Pam. What do you think? What would you do?
Wow. It's a hard... Well, to be honest, I don't think I could make the decision. Because the reason I couldn't is because I couldn't see myself taking my child's life. And I couldn't see myself killing millions. So I wouldn't make a choice. I think what I would do is refuse to make a choice. I wouldn't make that choice. I would put it in God's hands because I wouldn't want to see anybody.
You gonna make God look crazy in that predicament?
No. I'm not doing. I don't mean it from that perspective. What I mean is, I'm not gonna make a choice as far as my child or millions of people. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put myself in the position as the hero, as someone who's gonna stand firm and let them know this is a decision that I'm not gonna put up there because people's life is at stake, and I'm just not gonna go there with you.
Right,
we're going to have to come up with a different decision.
What if the terrorist says, all right, the terrorist says, all right, if you don't make a decision, I'm going to kill your kid and blow up and kill the millions of people and drop the bomb.
Okay, wow, that's a hard one. Well,
you know I guess you got to pick one.
Okay, well, if it came to that, which it probably would, I guess the best thing would be to just do what I have to do as far as, I think I agree with the young lady earlier, it would be selfish as much as I love my child to just consider one life over a million. It would be hard, but I would ask God to give me the wisdom as well as the strength to do what is necessary as far as think of the nation, as far as my responsibilities.
Right. So you're saying so everybody on here is saying that they would pick the nation over their child.
It would be hard. I'm not going to tell you that it wouldn't, but I would, as a representative of the nation, it would be something that I would have to do.
I dig it. I could dig it. Dana, what's up? Talk to me.
When I read this, I was like, no way.
No way.
No, I mean, as far as like when it comes to my children, I have 3 children, and, it's a parent. It's our job to protect our children.
Right.
Being a mother, your instincts kick in as far as, I'm not going to let any type of harm come to my child. But in a situation as this, as being a leader of a nation, I would have to pray to God, to help me, deal with the decision that I'm going to have to make. Because when it comes to me and the people, versus one child. And as much as I love my child, it's like I'm sacrificing my child for many people. And as long as I know that I brought my child up, in the right way, and whatever happens to them, I'm like, God is gonna be there for them, and He's gonna help me through this because I'm gonna need Him, because that's gonna be a serious blow just to me being a parent, knowing, that I sacrificed my child up for many people. It's easier said than done because I'm not in that situation, as far as being a leader. But the right thing to do would be to, sacrifice my child.
All right. Con.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the president was in that situation and chose to save their child, and let's say a whole city was like a whole, I don't know, let's say like 3 or 4 states was wiped out because of it. You know what I mean? But not in your part of the country. Would you be mad at the president for that? How would you feel about it as the president making that decision?
My heart would go out to him because he wanted to save his child, but I would be upset with him. You took this responsibility. And it's hard, yes it is, but if you want to be president, you got into office, you should be willing to make those tough decisions. That's why you're president. Everybody can't be president.
I feel you.
Of the free world, you need to make the right decisions. That's why you're there. And I would be very fearful for him because, you're definitely going to be impeached or whatever they had to do. You're going to get out of office. However, your life and your entire family's life is now in jeopardy.
All right.
Because you no longer have the Secret Service protecting you. They're going to take your life and your child's life. Because
whenever you're president, Secret Service always protects you. Even when you
while you're president, after you're president,
after you're president, they're assigned to protect you still too.
Yeah.
After Clinton, they didn't do that.
Nah, they assign agents to protect you even after the presidency. So yeah, you still have Secret Service watching you. But Dana, let's say the president gets up and says this. Listen, before I'm a president, the Bible tells me that I have to be a parent first, a wife first, a parent second. Get my job, that order, and being that it's in that order, wife, husband, you know what I mean, mother or father, parent, and then occupation, job. And my job as a president, even though that is my job, I'm a parent first, and I chose to save my child. Would you feel where he's coming from? Would you feel where that person coming from, Dana?
Ooh, I would, as far as their beliefs are, I mean, I understand what your beliefs are, but when that's right there. And I think that's why certain people shouldn't take certain positions in regard, especially when it comes to their beliefs. Because there's going to be times that your beliefs are going to come in conflict to maybe whatever position that you're holding. And in regards to being the president of a nation, for you to sit up there and say, well, my beliefs state that, my family comes first, then this job, You
say you quoting the Bible. That's what the Bible says.
But, yeah, if that's what the Bible is stating, and I'm like, and if that's the case, okay, well, that's your belief. I'm standing for my family, and I'm standing firm, and I'm, these millions of people are getting ready to die, but then I also have to be aware of me doing this. Me and my family is going to suffer repercussions behind this decision. Because, making that comment and that statement there has put a bullseye on me and my family.
I feel you. Hey, Cheeto, how would you feel if your president got up there and said that, man?
Yo. Yo, come on. Situations that aren't that impossible. There's always a way out. I mean,
That's
we're
what he
talking
said.
hypothetical.
Listen, man, I'm a parent first.
Well,
I'm a
that is
husband,
true.
I'm a parent. I'm a husband, I'm a parent, and then I'm a president. In that order. And the Bible tells me I'm supposed to raise my child, huh?
Yeah, but the same Bible tells you that you've been given a lot of responsibility, so you have to give just as much back. You know? If the lives of millions of people are in your hands, you don't got no choice. It's not a choice you're allowed to make. You're allowed to take care of the responsibility you've been given in the first place. And my opinion here, my opinion is the moment I become president, no one's going to know I have a family. It's going to be a state secret. You know?
State secret?
Nobody is going to know that I have a family. It's
You definitely won't be the president in the U.S. then.
I know. It's like
it's like a U.S. president.
But ain't nobody gonna know where they at, who they are.
And that's true because in the States, I mean, you know, the presidency, I mean, a lot of people look at the family unit, you know, and if the family unit is together, then, you know, they look at their man as being, you know, the head of the household and hopefully should be able to make decisions. So I'm like, we can't keep our family in incognito.
Right.
Yeah, we can't do that.
When I looked at this question here, I said to myself, when asking this question, actually, when I came out with this question, I said to myself, how would I answer this question myself? And I said, listen, as that responsibility given to me, as it was to kings, to queens, to, you know, people who are in power, you know, who, and even me being a business owner and knowing that certain people's lives are in your hand as far as their livelihood and jobs and making decisions about business and stuff like that. So I understand overall that, you know what I mean, the personal aspect of it and the overall, I want to say the country. I would say if I'm going to have my child go out and I got to make a decision to go out, I would want the world to know, hey, listen, y'all going to remember my child. If my child, if there's any way to go, I want my child to go with a memory, you know what I mean? They stood for something. You know what I'm saying? If I had to make that decision, and it's like, listen, I'm letting the world know, like, look, you know what I mean? Y'all going to remember this day. It's going to forever be embedded in your lives. If we going to go out, we going to have to go out for something, you know what I mean? I would make that decision to save the country and save the millions of people. But it will be embedded in the country's eyes that, listen, we're going to make this a memorial day. Like, my child's sacrifice is not going to go in vain. Like, y'all going to know. Like, this day was the day that my child saved millions of people's lives. We're going to make this a national holiday or something, you know what I mean? Like, it has to go down like that, man, because, you know what I mean? Outside of that, I couldn't see it going no other way. Like, you know, if my child got to go, I got to do it. If you're going to go out with a bang, man. Go out with doing something that you're going to be remembered by. You know what I'm saying? And if this is how he or she has to be remembered, you know, like, the name going to live on. And I think, you know, if you're going to die in glory. But at the end of the day, man, you know what I mean? That's a tough decision to make. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised not one person, though, said that they would save I'm surprised not one person said they would save their child. I'm very surprised at that. Especially the female.
I mean, it was a very hard decision, and I guess even being a leader of a nation, and regardless, I don't want to really say of anyone's religious belief, but I do believe that as long as I reared up my child in the right way, in the way that should go, there are so many other people out there that maybe haven't heard the word of God, and there are people out there that's trying to reach them too. So I mean, I'm thinking about many others that haven't had that opportunity as of yet. I mean, you have a lot of decisions going on in your mind, and like the lady, like Carmen was stating earlier, I mean, with that title, a lot of that's a great responsibility that you have on your shoulders, and you have to sit there and think decisively. I mean, that's not a decision that no one will want to make in a minute. But if push comes to shove, you have to make that. You have to make that decision.
Definitely.
Mhm.
I definitely feel you. I don't know. You know what? Like, for instance, Pam, you made the sacrifice to save the country. And what if the people that you see wasn't appreciative about it? How would you feel about that decision?
Well, you're. I guess you have to look at it like this. Everybody will not be to the point where they will appreciate what is done, but as a leader with responsibility, it's still something that needs to be done, and I would still do it because I would take my responsibility serious. It would be hard, but I would need to do it.
Yeah. I understand. I'm just saying, I don't know. Carl, how would you feel? You made that sacrifice to child, and then people didn't seem like they was appreciative.
Well, as a leader,
people are saying like, "Yo, you better have did that, man." Like, you know what I mean? Like, not humanizing the situation.
Well, we're very desensitized in the United States, and I think a lot of places in the world also. And I would make it a point to let them know what was done and how my child should be remembered. And then not just my child personally, there are men and women out there and the military and firefighters, policemen that protect you all the time. And dangers that you never see because they put their lives on the line, and let them know that you should be appreciative. Everybody won't. This is the maturity thing. But it's, as in the leader that really cares, I made this sacrifice, and you should be appreciative to put that human touch back in the situation so they can see this.
Right. I definitely dig you. I would check it out. The reason why I made this hard question, because David was put in a situation in the Bible where he had to make a tough question, he had to answer a tough question that God actually put him in. He put his own self into it, but God put him in a predicament where he had to make a very tough decision and answer this question that God gave him. And so I'm going to ask that question to you, ladies and gents. I want y'all to turn to 1 Chronicles chapter 21. I'm going to go into a music break real quick. I'm going to give y'all a chance to read, and then I'm going to go on and read it, and then we're going to dive into the question. All right? So everybody get a chance to, it's 1 Chronicles chapter 21. Get a chance to read it, get it in, and, we're going to get into a couple songs real quick, come back, and y'all got me, and we're gonna dive into this and see what it is. All right? 1 Chronicles chapter 21. You want to C1Music.fm for everybody who's listening. You want to join in our conversations, 805-399-1200. The participant code is 105431#. And, we're going to jump into some good music. We're going to jump into Bizzle right now. Lead Me. And let's get it in. See what music got us in the familiar. Get at your boys. Let's get it.
Wake up, late feet to the pavement. Running at 100, ain't read, no praying. Needs of my seat got me so anxious. Peeps telling me how I need more patience. And I know it, Lord, I don't wanna go it on my own. Now I know how close the end zone is. Knowing I can flow it, got me feeling more heroic. Now he telling me to run it, but I sure wanna throw it. Knowing that it's your play calling, they got me in a position to take all this. How dare I break off and stray? Long as I've been training for this game, I wish I would throw the ball away. I'm trying to be a better follower, cause true faith don't keep calling audible. And plus I tried on my own, and that's what had me crying at his throne in the first place.
2 steps forward, 2 steps back, it's like I'm running in place. Staying where I'm at, it's the same old path, trying to hold me back. Lord, I need you to. Why don't you just lead me? Lord, I need you to lead me. I need you.
Now I'm up in this predicament due to a whole lot of not listening. Trying to get it in before I got it right. Like I'm a holler at your father, but it's not tonight. Trying to add them in the plans I already made, instead of asking for the plans that heaven laid. But this a game I already played. If I seek him first, I can never be led astray. Alright. New day, do pray before I put the brush to the toothpaste, touche. Faith fresh like a new fade. Get up in the word, then grind is my new thing. Put him back in the top spot. Everything falling into place now. Put my feet to the streets like hopscotch. So seasoned, just wait till the rain's down.
2 steps forward, 2 steps back, it's like I'm running in place. Staying where I'm at, it's the same old path, trying to hold me back. Lord, I need you to. Why don't you just lead me? Lord, I need you to lead me. I need my next breath depends on you. My next heartbeat depends on you. Less of me and more of you. Lord, please lead me in all I do. All I do. 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, it's like I'm running in place. Staying where I'm at, it's the same old path, trying to hold me back. Lord, I need you to. Why don't you just lead me? Lord, I need you to lead me. I need you.
Problem, yeah, and I really know revival starts with me. I'm not here to try to make judgment, no, gotta make some adjustments, yeah, and I wanna go beyond what eyes can see.
I don't wanna love on the surface, no, no, and I know my love won't be perfect. I know I gotta love you on purpose. I wanna love when we close the curtain, so you can see the Jesus in that. I don't wanna love on the surface.
Lately I've been real introspective, trying to get some perspective. Yeah, some things I wish I knew. I'm looking at the times that we live in, saying, Father, forgive them. Yeah, They know not what they do.
I don't wanna love on the surface. No, no. And I know my love won't be perfect. I know I gotta love you on purpose. I wanna love when you close the curtain, so you can see the Jesus in there, in there, in there, in there, in there, in there. I don't wanna love on the surface.
Real love is a bear, man, it's complicated. Brokenness and insecurities too complicated. Openness to base impurities are not related. Real love, can't calculate it. Yeah, lot of pain and a sacrifice. Anybody disagree, got some bad advice. This is bigger than romance by the candlelight. Love is not passion, it's passion of the Christ. Beyond that, love is owning up, apologizing when you know you hit below the belt. Love until it hurts because it's not enough to only show it when emotions and them bottles up. Okay, I know they think I'm going overboard. Love is not just what you say with your vocal cords. It's what you show to the people that left them open scars. I wanna love you when they close the doors. Come on.
Won't be perfect. I know I gotta love you on purpose. I wanna love when we're close to curtains, so you can see the Jesus in there, in there, in there, in there, in there, in there. I don't wanna love on the surface. I hurt you so deep, light up your day to mess up your whole week. Lock your heart down and keep the key and go. I don't want you to be my next episode. I don't want just another love story told. I just want you to be my sister. I see life so much different now that I know what you're worth.
And my quest for them X and O's, and my quest for them X and O's wasn't being intentional. Now I got a big list of some X's. Oh, do I regret those? Well, yes and no. Do it all though I got to grow. But it came with a friendship broke. Was it really all worth it? I'm feeling all serpent. That the gray line did work when I heard it. 2 bars hit hard like a 2-part sermon. Like Christ love your wife, how he love the church, without seeing how many hearts you could break first. I was making relationships a temporary fix to medicate on my loneliness. Taking doses of emotions via phone call when we spoken. I planted seeds I really couldn't see through. Couldn't feed myself, so how could I feed you? Wasn't seeing God so clear, how could I see you? I was just leading you on, but didn't lead you. Dang, look at the things we do for our own pleasure. We go and use people. You ain't even single no more, but I wanna keep you. Look at how it exposed the heart of man is
and it's so bittersweet. How the one who could love you so much, I hurt you so deep. Light up your day to mess up your whole week. Lock your heart down and keep the key and go. I don't want you to be my next episode. I don't want just another love story told. I just want
to be my sister. I see life so much different now that I know what you're worth. Now that I know what you're worth. Now that I know, I see life so much different. I see life so much different. Oh, I see life so much different. Now that I've been forgiven. We spoke every day. Now we don't need to speak at all. Speak at all. Speak at all. Speak at all. And it's so bittersweet.
C1music.fm, the familiar. It's your boy Dose. We definitely in the building. You know how we do. All day, every day. Rocking with your boy. I have a couple of people in the building with me. I got my man Tito in the building. Although, yeah, Tito in the building. What's good, Tito?
Hey, what's happening?
I got Carm in the building, Pam in the building, Kane in the building, and we about to get it popping. We're going to read the good book, First Chronicles chapter 21, and we're going to see how this story plays out, and I'm going to read it. I'm reading from, everybody who listens to my show knows, I like reading from either the Holman Christian or the ESV. Sometimes I do the New Living. You know, it all depends on what type of feel or mood I'm in, or what type of vibe I'm trying to get from the good book. But tonight we're gonna bang out with the Holman Christian tonight. So I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna try to break down the story, and we're gonna put our panelists that's on the show tonight, starting with Tito. Tito, I'm coming to you first. And I want y'all to get a good understanding of the story and what's going on here. And I'm going to ask you the question. All right?
All right.
So it goes down like this. All right, we in 1 Chronicles chapter 21. I'm reading from the Holman Christian Standard Bible. Follow me here. All right? Verse 1 says, Satan stood up against Israel and incited David to count the people of Israel. So David said to Joab and the commanders of the troops, go and count Israel from Beersheba to Dan, and bring a report to me so I can know their number. Joab replied, may the Lord multiply the number of his people 100 times 100. My lord the king, aren't they all my Lord's servants? Why does my Lord want to do this? Why should he bring guilt on Israel? Let's pause there. So right now, what we see going on is Satan is messing with David's head right now. So instead he incited him, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like saying he tricked him or he baited him into wanting to know how many people was in Israel. Now, as we go back throughout the Old Testament, you know, God was multiplying Israel numbers, and people were fearing Israel because they were starting to, you know, when they was in Egypt and then they left, they was getting bigger and bigger, and they was getting too big for certain cities and areas, was worried about them, and so on and so forth. So Israel troops was growing in number, and they had a nice, you know, little army going right there. And so David was kind of feeling himself and like, yo, he really, right at this particular time, seemed like he didn't know how many troops he had at that time. But it wasn't about the number of troops. It was about God allowing them to win the wars and the battles, you know what I mean? But Joab is talking to David like, yo, my man, why do you even want to know? Like, why is it so important to you to know how many troops and numbers that you have when we fighting the Lord's battle and the Lord's going, get us through whatever issue and obstacle that we face. Pam, do you think it was important for him to want to know that? Like, how many troops was that an important thing you need to know? How many troops you have to go to battle with?
Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, because you would want to know who all's going to be there to fight with you. So I guess I can understand somewhat why they would want to know that.
Right. So when your right hand man, because we know all throughout David's kingship, Joab was his right hand man. Joab was his enforcer. If your enforcer is telling you, hey, my man, we don't really need to know this right now. You know what I mean? We're not even in a position right now to even be worrying about that. That's not, you know what I mean? Let God just bless us. He says that to you, and he gives you that type of, you know what I mean? He gives you that type of wisdom and share that type of knowledge with you. I mean, would you look at him and be like, listen, man, I'm the king. I want to do what I want to do, and I told you to count, so count? Or would you be like, all right, I'm going to take the counsel and just leave it in God's hands to fight the war?
Well, he probably, by him being the right-hand man, it would be, for him to just, fall in line. When you start asking questions that is unnecessary or doing things that is kind of out of line, then that makes you kind of, you're not really communicating or in line with that individual, and everybody know in order for anything to work out, everybody have to be on the same page. Everybody have to work together. So what he should have done is just work with him as the right-hand man instead of just worrying about the unnecessary questions.
Well, right-hand man didn't know the numbers neither from what we looking at it. He didn't know the numbers neither, but he didn't really care. He said, why should we, in his eyes, he looking like, why should we bring guilt on Israel for knowing? Like, we've been winning battles without even knowing what the numbers are. Why should you now bring guilt on Israel as a whole for you wanting to sit down and do a tally of how many people we had? Tito, do you think him knowing is a good strategy move? I mean, on basic 101 in warfare?
Yeah, I think it's important for him to know. And I've always had a problem with this verse. I was wondering, okay, what's wrong with someone doing a census? I mean, there's literally nothing wrong in there, man. I mean, think about it. Every country does a count. The reason why they do it, they want to see how much return they're going to get from the people through taxes and through, statutory fees and whatnot. So I don't see a problem here, whether it's for war, whether it's for run the country, whether it's to know how many people you have under your wing. I literally don't see a problem.
It's no big deal to you, right?
Nah. I was like, okay, what's the big deal?
I feel you. What about you, Carl? What do you think? He wanted to do a census. His right-hand man's like, why are you trying to bring shame? The Lord fight our battles, you know what I mean? Like, the Lord multiplied our numbers 100 times over. We don't need to know. Do you feel like David is wrong for wanting to know?
Well, he has no real purpose. It's not that he was wanting to know for tax purposes. He just wanted to know to know. Well, if God is fighting all your battles, you're winning everything because God is on your side. It doesn't matter. So you don't need to know the numbers. There's no purpose just because.
But I'm saying, though, but is it a big deal for him to want to count the census, though? Is it that big of a deal?
If it wasn't going to put sin on Israel, then no. But, I mean, when he finds out the numbers, what if he says, okay, well, now that I know the numbers, when I go fight, I know I can do this, I can do that. You're going to start depending on yourself, thinking you're big and bad. You could get the big head. Well, whether you have 20 people or 20 million people, if God's on your side, it doesn't matter what the numbers say.
Exactly. All right. So let's look at it. Verse 4 says, Yet the king ordered prevail over Joab. He had to fall in line, like Pam said. So Joab left and traveled through Israel and then returned to Jerusalem. Joab gave a total troop registration to David. In all Israel there were 1,100. No, I'm saying that wrong. 1,100,000 swordsmen in Judah itself and 470,000 swordsmen. But he did not include Levi and Benjamin in the count because the king's demand was detestable to him. He didn't really be totally obedient to David. All right. So verse 7, this command was also evil in God's sight. So he afflicted Israel. That's what my Bible says. So verse 8. Now here's the conversation that goes on. Now Tito, I really want you because, especially with you, because you kind of feel how I feel a little bit on this. Like, yo, dude, all I did was take a census. You know what I mean? Check it, Tito. David said to God, I have sinned greatly because I have done this thing. Now please take your servant's guilt, for I've been very foolish. All right? So verse 9, then the Lord instructed Gad, David's seer, go and say to David, this is what the Lord says. I am offering you, Tito, I want you to listen now because you're playing David. The seer Gad comes to David and he says, verse 10, go and say to David, this is what the Lord says. I am offering you 3 choices. Choose one of them for yourself, and I will do it to you. Verse 11, pay attention, Tito. So Gad went to David and said to him, this is what the Lord says. Take your choice. Okay? Here are the choices, Tito. Verse 12. 3 years of famine or 3 months of devastation by your foes with the sword of your enemy overtaking you. Or 3 days of the sword of the Lord. A plague of the land and the angel bringing destruction to the whole territory of Israel. Now, decide what answer I should take back to the one who sent me. I'm going to pause right there. Let's think about this now. Verse 12 starts off again. Here are your options. 3 years famine. All right? So your people, 3 years famine. Okay? That's your first option. Your second option is 3 months of devastation by your foes, meaning all your enemies will conquer you for 3 months and put hand and sword to your people, so you may even lose them. You'll be devastated by your enemies and your foes by the sword, meaning that many people will die, overtaking you for three months, or 3 days sword of the Lord, meaning a plague of the land. It's meaning that God gonna bring devastation himself on you guys for 3 days. From an angel of the Lord, bringing destruction to the whole territory of Israel. Choose wisely, my man said. What is your answer, Tito, and why?
First of all, that is all uncalled for. That's just this all this is crazy, man. Okay, I'd have to go with the third choice. Because I don't want to die because I don't got food. Secondly, there is no way, after killing so many people around me, that I want them to spring up and start doing things to me. As a nation, that's just not going to happen. Well, I'd rather just see what's in the Pandora's box, whatever the Lord's bringing, you know?
Yeah, wouldn't you think that the Lord's destruction is going to be the worst out of everybody?
Probably, I don't know. I mean, if he's crazy enough to think that to give me these 3 crazy choices, you'd rather just say, okay, fine, just do what you want,
I hear you. Dana, talk to me. Which one would you pick out of those 3 choices?
Out of those choices there,
Out of
number
these choices,
one,
and why?
out of these three, I would, number one, no, I don't want to suffer through famine for 3 years. For your family, no, I wouldn't want that. Do not want to be overtaken by my enemies, because your enemies are not going to have any type of, they're not going to have any favor towards you. They're not going to have any mercy on. No, I don't want to go through that. No, because they're not going to have any kind of mercy on you. And who's to say, I mean, even if it's 3 months and God has stayed in 3 months, evidently you're going to make it through the 3 months, tortured, going through that, and, and dying for something that was my fault that I brought up on the people. I would select choice number 3. The reason why I would select choice number 3 is because, okay, this is 3 days. I know that God is really hard on me. I'm just going to have to have my face there.
Hey, your phone is breaking up or something, Dana. I don't know what it is.
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Yeah, go ahead. What you were saying?
Okay. I think I would just go ahead and suffer through whatever 3 days of wrath that God is going to put on me. And I'm just going to have to ask for forgiveness and have my faith there. Because David lost his faith in God when he allowed, to have Joab to go out there and count those people. So my thing was, I did something wrong. I'm admitting to that. And I'm just going to have to, just really pray to God, have mercy on me, for those 3 days, but I'm just going to have to just tough it out. I would rather deal with 3 days of God's wrath than deal with 3 months of being tortured by...
3 days of God's wrath could be more like 3 months of torture from your enemies, though.
I don't know. I mean, 3 days could probably be a long time, but 3 months to someone who cannot stand you, hate you. These people hate you. God does not hate us. He loves us, but he's gonna lay some stuff on us.
Let me ask you this question. This is my thinking. Why not pick the famine, 3 years famine, and if you're gonna be on it like, God loves us, and why not go through the 3 years of famine and let God see you suffering? Let God see you suffering and pray that He'll get you out of the famine. Why not do that?
I don't want to go through 3 years of. I don't want to go through 3 years of famine, of no crops. My children are looking at me like, "What we gonna eat?" I don't want to go through that. I'm telling you, I'd rather bite the bullet, and suffer those 3 days. I'm telling you.
Wow,
that's what I would rather
that's
do.
real.
Yeah.
When God when God put work in,
I mean,
he working.
And I haven't, I done been through, some valleys, not to the point of where I'm almost, underneath the quicksand, but, I still, come out on top, so,
no, that 3 years famine look kind of nice over there, man.
I don't know, I'm going to have to pass up on that famine.
All right, Pam, let me hear your choice, Pam. What would you choose?
I am in agreement with the other two. I wouldn't choose number 1 because that's a bit much, especially when you have children. It's hard for them to look to you and you don't know what you're going to feed them. And
why do you think they're going to look at you when the Lord bringing down devastation on you?
Because when you is someone they look to, they always come to you when it's time for the meal or whatever. And it's hard not to have anything to give your child.
Well, what you going to do when God's bringing devastation on you and they looking to you to protect them and you can't do nothing?
Well, I think I'll take that chance over 3 years. I would pray. Hopefully he'll have some kind of mercy on me.
You ain't gonna have. To me, if your argument is a prayer, and hopefully he have mercy on you, then why not go through the famine and pray and hopefully he have mercy on you and feed you?
Well,
that's a lesson too. That's a lesson too out of the 3.
I guess the only difference is I'm not sure what he's going to do with the 3 days. I know he's gonna unleash on the country. It's gonna be 3 days, and I understand his 3 days is not like our 3 days. But I still think I would take that chance over a whole 3 years of knowing that it's going to be hard, nothing to eat. And to me, this is just me, that's a lot to deal with, trying to be hungry and suffering and have to tell your child you don't know what you're going to feed them. That's very hard.
Pam, so why not suffer at the hands of your foes? At least they'll feed you. And at the end, out of that 3-month period, it's only 3 months. Out of that 3-month period, you're going to come out victorious. Like, to me, even thinking about the 3 months, like, in the back of your mind, like, I only got to do this for 3 months. After this, whatever y'all doing, I'm going to get y'all back. Like, your time coming. Like, and you can speak confident about, listen, I'm only going through this. You ain't got 3 months, bro. Do what you do. You know what I mean? And you get to eat. You get to, they do what they do. But they build up that rage, and then when them 3 months is up, you go handle your business. You go handle your business. Like, now it's back to normal. Let's get popping. And you go handle your business. You just was on punishment for 3 months.
The reason why I wouldn't take that one is because your enemy don't have any mercy on you.
Yeah, but they're not going.
They coming after you with full force. No,
God not going to allow them to kill you.
Yeah, but you'll suffer hard.
Some of your people might die, but some of your people won't die when God brings this. Some of your people are going to die in any choice that you make. 3 years of famine, some people want to die. Some people want to die with devastation and foes. Some people want to die at the hand of mercy. To me, at the hand of mercy of God, to me, at least the devastation with the foes, I can get. My people were not dying in vain. I can revenge their death. You know what I mean? 3 years of famine, that's caused by God, so you can't really do nothing about that. And the plague that God's going to bring with an angel of the Lord to bring destruction, I don't know, man. That's not nothing to play with, man. You know what I mean? You talking about a whole different realm of chaos. You feel me?
I feel you. It's not a winning situation in none of these.
But you still going with the chaotic God?
I still would do with the last one, the third one.
Woo! 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 All right, Calm, talk to me.
I would choose the second option.
The second option?
3 years is a long time for punishment. And this is
Right.
my fault, and I'm making my people suffer for 3 long years for what I've done. And the wrath of God, that can wipe out all but a remnant of the people. And not just the people, of everything you have. God can take away a third, a tenth. He can take away 90%. So I would deal with my enemies. It's just for 3 months. And everything they take, I'm going to get it back, and probably some more. So I'll deal with that, and then I can recoup my losses from that. In 3 months, the devastation should only be minimum.
I hear that. Somebody got the show going. Let me get my other caller in. Miss D, what's good, Miss D?
What's up?
Chilling. How you?
I'm tired.
As always, we all are.
Yeah.
Hard work.
I'm into a lot of stuff, man.
Did you get to hear the question?
I heard some of it, but not all of it.
All right, we're on 1 Chronicles chapter 21. And David had made a census of his troops, and God got mad at him for it. So God gave him 3 choices to make. He said, you got an option. You can go 3 years of famine, 3 months of devastation by your foes with the sword of your enemy overtaking you, meaning that he's going to take you by the sword, probably put you on some chains, they're going to whip you or do whatever, and they're going to kill some of your main men, and you're going to take an L from that perspective for 3 months, be their slave. Or you can suffer by the hand of God. He's going to bring destruction, He's going to send an angel to bring total destruction on the whole territory of Israel. Not just the people, not just the land, the whole territory of Israel. Out of those three choices, what choice would you make? The 3 years of famine, the 3 months of devastation by your foes, or the whole territory of Israel plagued by an angel of the Lord for 3 days?
That don't sound good. To tell you the truth. But if I had to pick one, I'd pick the first one. I'm not going to be tortured. I don't want to be tortured.
Hold on, so hold on. You gonna go to 3 years of famine?
Wow. No, I don't want to go no 3 years either. Like I said, I don't really want to do none of it. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be tortured.
All right, so which one you gonna pick though? You got to pick one.
Dude, you ain't no choices. There ain't no choices.
They in the Bible. That's the choices that he had.
But I'm serious. That's no choice.
Yeah, that's in the Bible. First Chronicles, chapter 21. Those are the 3 choices that he had to make. He had to choose those choices. And my man told him to choose wisely. He didn't give him a chance. He didn't give him a chance to like, yo, think about it. Like, give me a couple days. I'll get back to you. He was like, all right, these are your choices. What's good? Talk to me. You know what I mean? Which one you gonna pick? He didn't give him like a couple days to think about anything. He said, yo, decide what your answer is. You know what I mean?
There's nothing to think about because I don't want none of it, really. There ain't nothing to think about. I don't want none of it. If that's the case, then you might as well kill me.
Jesus, just kill.
Ms. D, you gotta pick one though, Ms. D.
Okay.
All right, listen, so I'm going to run your choices again. You got 3 years of famine, all right? 3 years of no food. That's your first choice for you and your nation. 3 years of famine, all right?
3 years
Second choice.
I don't want
3 years.
I don't want it.
All right.
I don't want it.
All right, second choice. 3 months of devastation by your enemies with the sword. Meaning they're gonna capture y'all for 3 months and kill some of your people. You may see some of your loved ones die, or whatever the case may be. But it's only for 3 months.
I don't want that either. I don't want it.
All right. The last one is 3 days of devastation by the Lord. He sends an angel to plague your whole territory of Israel for 3 days.
Well, if I had any choice, I'd take the 3 days. But I really don't want none of it. I'd take the 3 days. I think I can bear 3 days.
You take the 3 days of devastation? The devastation of God gonna be worse than the enemies, don't you think?
I would take the 3 days.
I want to.
I would take the 3 days.
Hey, Miss D, talk to me though, Miss D. If you took the 3 months devastation with your foes, you know what I'm saying? At least you get to revenge their death. After 3 months, you get to revenge their death. If God kills your friends and family, you can't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? And in 3 years of famine, you can't do nothing about that neither. At least with the second choice, you can revenge your family that got killed by your enemy, and you can take it back. At least you gotta come up on the second choice.
Dude, what I just said.
Miss D, so you ain't trying to hear that?
I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to hear it. No.
Ah, man, Miss D. So let me get this straight. So I got my man T. Yes, you taking the 3 days?
I'll take the 3 days.
3 days. All right, so we got Tito with the 3 days. We got Pam with the 3 days. We got Dana with the 3 days. We got Calm with the 3 months.
The 3 days?
Except Calm. Calm said the 3 months.
Oh, she want to take the 3 months?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
3 months go by fast, though. I don't know, man. That's a hard question right there. I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Because on one hand, like, everybody's saying, like, this is how I feel. Everybody's saying, like, oh, well, I'm hoping that during that devastation that God gonna bring to me, he'll have mercy on me. And I feel you, but if he gonna do that, I'd rather be devastated by food and he have mercy on me and drop us some food. At least we got our weapons, we can protect ourselves. You know what I mean? And that's an easy prayer, you know what I mean? Like, I can get on my knees and pray and not have to worry about anything else with the famine, you know what I mean? If I'm hoping that God will have mercy on us, you know what I mean, and show mercy, you know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that he show mercy with the famine. If I'm doing the same thing with the devastation of my enemies, if God gonna show mercy on me, if I'm hoping for God to show mercy on me, I'm hoping him to show mercy on me without it getting too crazy. You know what I mean? Like, allowing them to do what they do for 3 months and not get too crazy. And at the same token, I get to revenge my people. You know what I'm saying? But that plague by the Lord, like, if y'all read the scripture, if y'all read further down, like, yo, like, what was going on? Because David, let's read. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens first. All right, and then I'm gonna give my answer. So verse 13, First Chronicles chapter 13. All right, First Chronicles chapter 13. So David answered Gad, "I'm in anguish. Please let me fall into the Lord's hand, because his mercies are very great. But don't let me fall into human hands." So, David's answer is, I want to fall into God's hand because his mercy is very great. Now, my argument to David is, yo, if I'm going to fall into the Lord's hand because his mercy is great, then why not fall into his hands and let him have mercy on me and want some food? I mean, do y'all feel me on that? At least nobody died like that, you know what I mean? And if they die, they didn't die like, you know what I mean, some head cut off type, you know what I mean? I'd rather them have mercy and show, you know, drop some apples from the sky or something, man, you know? Y'all don't sound like y'all feeling me on that.
No, I mean, famine is famine, you know, and if he said famine for 3 years, I mean, you already
but I'm saying,
eat for 3 years.
But David's whole premise of answering God is based off the fact that he know God gonna have mercy on him. Somebody got the background.
Yeah, because I heard that too. But I'm like, yeah, I mean, I believe the Lord is going to have mercy. But I'm like, you know, I mean, where would the mercy fall in famine for 3 years?
Where the mercy fall? The mercy fall. He'll give you some food.
But I'm like, if he already said famine, I mean, you know, you know, you're not going to have any crops, you know. You're probably not going to be able to fish or anything because there's nothing going to be there. So, I mean, your rations are going to be very minuscule, you know.
Listen. It's not, to me, one of the things I would say, it's not like Israel ain't never been through a famine before. And it's not like Israel never been at the hands of, like they was in the hands of Egypt before. You know what I mean? It's not like they never been through those experiences before. They tough enough to make it through those. But the destruction of God, I mean, that's real right there. You know what I'm saying? So, picture this. Let's finish reading this. So, here we go. So, verse 14. So, the Lord sent a plague on Israel, and 70,000 Israelite men died. Verse 15. Then God sent an angel to Jerusalem to destroy it. So God was going to destroy Jerusalem. But when the angel was about to destroy the city, the Lord relented concerning the destruction and said to the angel who was destroying the people, enough. Withdraw your hand now. The angel of the Lord was standing at the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. When David looked up and saw the angel of the Lord standing between heaven and earth, with his drawn sword in his hand, stretched out over Israel. David and the elders, clothed in sackcloth, fell down with their faces to the ground. And let me ask you a question. This is the question I got. Now, this is the mind-boggling question. And Tito, I want to ask you.
All right.
I'm going to ask you this question as a grown man. All right? Mm-hmm. You responsible for it. All right?
Yep.
You look up and you see an angel. I don't even know what this angel looked like. But this angel standing with a sword between heaven and earth. You can see the angel. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Destroying your territory and your people. So you getting a bird's eye view. You see what's going on. You like, yo, this is real. How could you sin after that, man? Like, real talk. I mean, you see an angel standing between heaven and earth, standing over your territory, destroying your people with a sword from heaven. You know what I mean? God shouts out, no. You see all this stuff going on. I mean, like, there's nothing else to talk about. I don't understand how the people of Israel can sin anymore after that. You know what I mean? Like, tell me, talk to me.
Well, I guess there's nothing that we could see that's gonna stop our hearts from sinning or from doing the wrong thing most of the time. I'm not reasoning this. Yeah, I'm not reasoning this from the Bible, but we see a lot of evils that are happening today, and even like, say for example, the guy that you give mercy to, the same guy who's going to shiv you later on, down the line. I mean, there is nothing good that we. I don't know how to say this, man. I mean, this wasn't a turning point for David's heart. I don't think it was.
It should have been.
First off, it should have been, I guess, but it didn't seem to. Didn't seem to turn and say, hey, from now on, I'm going to believe that God's got an angel with a big sword and no more sinning.
Right. It should have been, though. I don't see how he couldn't have been.
Yeah.
Con, what do you think, Con? I mean, you see an angel standing between heaven and earth with a sword drawn out, hand stretched over Israel, killing all the elders. People fell down on their faces to the ground. You know what I mean? You seeing what's going on, and you see the angel, and you hear God shout to the angel, tell him stop. I mean, like, how much more convincing do you need?
I wouldn't need any more. I'm good on me. But it's easy to say. But,
to me, it can't be that easy, man. Like, yo, you see an angel, you see 70,000 of your men. In a matter, this was, to me, from reading this, I can't say, I mean, this had to be in a matter of not even a half a day, you know what I mean? You people get slaughtered. And you don't need too much convincing off of that, because I'm just imagining that you just standing there, and all of a sudden people just dying. It's like, boom. I don't know if their bodies getting cut off or anything. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm trying to picture the type of destruction that the Lord was bringing upon them when it says the angel was standing with a sword standing out, meaning like he was like chopping heads off or something, you know what I mean? And you try to picture yourself being at this place at that time, and you see, what's going on, and you just see people dying all around you. Like, I mean, was this invisible? I mean, did you just see bodies just getting chopped off? Like, what do you see? And then on top of that, whether it's chopped off or not, like, what type of conviction do you need? That's not enough convincing for you?
That would be enough for me, but we know it's not enough for him. But maybe he saw it like this. Okay, well, God showed me mercy. He still showed mercy. He said 3 days and say it was half a day. And he said, time, let's go ahead and cut this short.
And my whole argument to that, not to cut you off, Carm, my whole argument to that is if he's going to show mercy in a half a day, I would have chose the 3 years. Give me a week, man, when he would show mercy. You know what I mean?
Well, in the 3 years, God's mercy could have been, I'm going to give you just enough so you don't starve to death.
That's cool.
So
I'm cool with that.
You'll never be full. You'll always be hungry and horrible pains.
I'm cool with that. I would have been cool with that. If I'm basing my judgment off of mercy, I would have been cool with the famine. I'd rather have a famine than have 70,000 people getting their bodies chopped off in front of my face. You know what I'm saying? Or my enemies getting their head cut off. If I'm basing my answer based off of mercy, if I'm basing it off of, I just want to get this over with, then I'm going with the hand of God. But if I'm basing my argument off of, well, I know that God's going to show me mercy, then I'm going with the famine. Famine is the least destructive. I got kids involved. I'm looking out for my kids too. I don't want to see my kids just standing there watching people getting their heads cut off, you know what I mean, by enemies or by God for that matter. Because then what my kids going to say about God? You know what I mean? How they going to look at God? And then they're going to look at me. It's my fault. How do I explain, well, this is what happens when you go against God, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? What do you say? How do you answer that when what happened? When your kids are, Daddy, what happened?
That has some fear in them, that's for sure.
But it should have some fear in them regardless. This is what I'm saying. I don't understand why Israel couldn't get it right. You see an angel standing in the sword, you know what I mean, swinging back with destroying people, 70,000 men, instantly, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me, Carl. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, being an angel, I would have been good before the angels even did anything, because if this angel is standing between heaven and earth, then that's all my territory. He could be, taking care of some other territory too. I mean, who knows? But that would have been enough for me. But I definitely wouldn't have chose the third option, because 3 days from the wrath of God could take you 50 years or 100 years to recuperate from. Versus the other option.
True. Miss D. I don't know if she's still there or not. No, we lost her. All right. Pam. I got to ask you this, Pam.
Okay.
Me and Tita was talking earlier. I mean, you got 3 options. Those options you chose. At the end of the day, after all this is said and done, I got to pull God to the side for God. Like, for real, though. All I did was count the men. Like, for real? I mean, how would that conversation with you and God be like? Like, what would you say to him after that? Like, I can't count.
Okay, repeat what you just said. I missed part of it.
I'm asking you, how would your conversation, after all this is said and done, how would your conversation with God be? Like, what would you say to him? Like, because all this happened because you counted your men.
Well, first of all, when you disobedient or you don't do what God asks, you're asking.
God never told. God never told him not to count.
I'm just saying this happened because he sinned, right?
But what was his sin? You tell me what his sin was.
Okay, wasn't this 3 choices because of sin?
Right, but what was the sin in your eyes? What did he do that was sinful? The sin was that he counted his men.
Well, the first thing he would need to do is to make sure he get it right. He got to ask God to forgive him for that sin. That's the first thing he has to do, because when God gives you an order or he tell you something, he expects you to follow order. And when you...
But God never gave him an order not to count his men.
But, I mean, if I understood correctly, wasn't he supposed to just go with what he had and not count? Am I right?
Right. It wasn't even about... God never said not to count your men. Here's the sin part in it. The sin part was Satan planted the idea in his mind, like, hey, let me count my men, see how well we doing, as though I'm trying to picture how this whole thing is, as though it was more about him and his army more so than about God. You know what I mean? About God winning the war for him. He made it, I guess, put it in his heart, or plan in his head, that listen, I gotta count my men. We got an official army. So it's kind of like maybe being prideful a little bit. Maybe he wanted to boast about how many men they got. I'm trying to gather or fathom why this type of destruction, these choices were made over counting your men, when there was never a rule to say that you can't count your men.
Well, I guess it's just the ideal that if you I'm assuming, it's just me now, I'm assuming if you allow yourself to be entertained by any thoughts or anything by Satan, and it's not of God, then punishment will be part of your decision. So I guess that's how I'm going to take it. And I'm assuming what he should have done is just trust God, because when you have God on your side, no matter how many people you have, you're going to be fighting a winning battle. But he didn't do that. He chose to allow the, thoughts of Satan to come in, which caused punishment. So I guess what he needed to do is to, get that right. He needed to be asking God to forgive him. My conversation with God would have been, okay, God, in my weakest moment, I made the wrong decision. I would have been trying to get that right. Try to fix a wrong that I've done, because a lot of people will have to be punished for my sin, and that will be hard for me to deal with.
Okay. Dina, what about you? How would that conversation play out after all the said and done with God? Like, what would you say to God? Like, my man. Like, yo, you killed all these people just because I counted? You know what I mean? Like, how your conversation would be?
To even sit there, I don't even know if I could just really sit there and question God like that, because, he doesn't owe me an explanation or answer to anything. If I broke a law and I didn't have the faith, that, God was just pretty much like, I'm here, don't you worry about it, you just get out there, and go to these wars or whatever, I'm taking care of this. And for me to sit up here and just, I guess, still in my own self, go count these people for me so I can know what I have. I don't feel that I would have the right to question God. That's just me. I'm focused on myself, and, I would feel terrible for all the people that lost their lives behind me not being humble, me not being faithful, me not, obeying anything.
Well, I bring this question up to you then. In the Old Testament, when God was going to destroy a whole bunch of people, I think it's in Genesis. I don't remember who it was, but it was before Sodom and Gomorrah had happened. Mm-hmm. It was God and I don't know if it was Moses or not having a conversation, but there was a conversation going on with God, and the guy in the story, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but he was bargaining with God, like, yo, well, if you allow this to happen, then why don't you just make it this number? The guy was like, all right. And they're like, well, if you agree to that number, then why don't you agree to this number? And this conversation went about at least 6, 7 times that the guy was bargaining. Instead of destroying all these people, he ended up only destroying like a small few people because the guy was willing to bargain and hold God accountable to his word. Now, I mean, question God. He was willing. He was bold enough to question God. And because he questioned God, he ended up, instead of wiping a whole bunch of people out, he only wiped out a few people who, the bad people, instead of all the people that was, you know what I mean, just people there. I don't, did anybody know the story I'm talking about? I can look it up. I mean,
I think I do remember that, but, you know, even with Moses having that conversation with God, that was prior to devastation. You know, this is after the fact everything has been done.
Right.
You know, in regards
Good point.
Yeah. So that's why I'm stating, you know, after everything has been done, I mean, after everything has been done, you know, the only thing I can do is just repent. You know, even if those family members or, you know, have people that have survived, you know, I would be in debt to those people, you know, because, hey, you know, if the wife is still alive who has children, her husband was slain, you know, through this, you know, through what God had put on us for 3 days, I would feel indebted to that woman, you know, and her children, you know, and I would do right by them.
I hear that.
Because, because I brought this upon us.
I hear that.
You know,
let me ask you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that, you know, because I brought this upon on our people, you know, without following, you know, God's law, His rules, you know. I pretty much stepped outside the box and, you know, and did what I wanted to do. And me
I hear that.
And, you know, caused my people to suffer.
I hear that. Hey, Miss D.
Yes, my phone died.
Yeah, it's cool. I got a question for you, though.
Yeah.
Let's say, you know, you in church, chilling, and let's say you told somebody off like a week ago, you know what I mean? And you kind of felt bad about it, but you felt like you needed to do it because they was bothering you, you know what I mean? You might have hurt their feelings. You know what I mean? Like you really went in on them at work or something. Say it was an employee at work. I mean, one of your employees.
Okay.
Then your pastor comes up to you after church on Sunday and just says, listen, God told me that you got 3 choices. You know what I mean? He give you 3 bogus choices. You know what I'm saying? What would you say?
God said I had 3 choices to make it right?
Nah, you got 3 choices. Yeah, you got to go through, you know what I mean? Say you may lose your house. One of your kids may die. Or, you know what I mean? I don't know. See, drastic choices, though. Like, what would you say to your pastor, though? This your pastor coming to you and telling you this. What would be your facial expression to your pastor? And what would you say? And then he says, choose. Let me know now. Choose. He wants you to choose on the spot. She dropped the call. Carm, what would you do, Carm? The pastor came up to you and said that.
After I picked my job off the ground.
You said after you what?
After I picked up my job off the ground, then I would ask, Lord, give me wisdom for which one to choose. I wouldn't.
You asked the Lord to give you wisdom on that? Man, you shout out, yeah.
Well, I'm going to make my decision, but He knows which one's going to be worse for me. He's giving me the option.
Well, He the one that's giving you the option. You going to go to the person that's giving you the option and say, hey, help me choose which one is the best one for me.
Well, you have not, because you asked her. I'm in trouble, but I want the one that's going to be least impact other
you
people.
shout out, man. You shout out, yo. You shout out.
But I don't know what the third option was either.
I don't know. I'm just making them up. Miss D, how would you answer? Miss D,
well,
what would your
pick
conversation?
The one that least impacts everyone else.
All right, I hear that. So you would pick one though.
I have to. I don't have a choice. I'd have to pick one.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Telling somebody off at work? Miss D, talk to me, Miss D. How would you answer? What would your conversation with your pastor be like?
I'll be asking him, explain to me what are you talking about. I want to know. You got to explain. Break this down to me.
He said God told him that you got these 3 choices because you did something you sinned earlier this week by hurting somebody's feelings.
Okay, then I would ask him what was the 3 choices.
And he told you something devastating, like 3 devastating choices.
Oh, he told me 3 devastating choices. Okay, but if they all devastated, I wouldn't know which one to pick. I'll just go back to that person and apologize.
Now I look at my pastor, man. You better kick rocks, man. I don't see that. Real talk, man. Like, yo, God gotta come holler at me personally, man. You gotta come holler at me personally on this one, bruh. So you can't come to me talking about, yo, you gotta make this type of choice. Miss D, I thought you was gonna say that, Miss D. Because you know me, we from the same hood. So I figured you was going to tell him off. Like, man, you got to be out your mind.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what? He likes to tell me that this is going to happen to me, these things going to happen to me. And I'm thinking this in my head, and I'm like, no, he was trying to break it down. He's going to have to break it down.
Yeah, I'm not receiving none of that, man. I'm like, nah, bro.
I'm not feeling all of that either. He just has to break it down. I'm like, you guys had to come to me personally and tell me that.
Yeah, that's how I would be right now too. If I was David in that situation, I got approached by God, I would have been like, look, man, I know God on a personal level, man. I don't need you to intervene with us, man. You got to holler at me one-on-one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would have had that one-on-one conversation, man. It was that's too rare. I would have been like, man, I ain't trying to hear you, bro. And tell God to holler at me personally, man. We got to take a walk.
Yeah, tell me.
I know that's right.
Man, God got to take a walk and talk this one out, man. But nah, my pastor came to me and said something like that. I look at him like he was crazy, man. Like, yo, you all right?
I was just looking at him. You have to break this down.
Like, yo, you all right, man? Like, you sure God ain't tell you something crazy? What you said, I wouldn't even be trying to answer no questions. I ain't trying to be thinking of no options. Like, listen, man, God you gonna have to support this by God talking. You gotta give me a dream or something, man, or something, bro. Like, what you saying ain't right. I don't really see that at all. Yeah, but I appreciate y'all, you know what I mean? Definitely joining the show tonight. Pam, you got any last words? You wanna drop some jewels on somebody here? You wanna go shout out to anybody on the show tonight?
I've enjoyed the show.
Any last words? You wanna share anything? Give anybody?
I'm good. I just enjoyed the show.
Oh, okay. What about you, Carm? You wanna drop any jewels?
Basically, I enjoyed the show, and to make sure you be close in wisdom at all times, and be led by God, and be obedient.
Be obedient. Dana, you got any last jewels you want to drop?
Yeah, I just want to, I enjoyed, the discussion tonight, my first time on the show, and, I look forward to this again. I really did like the forum. Most definitely.
Appreciate it. Ms. D, you want to drop some jewels, Ms. D?
Yeah, I'm just going to have to start tuning in more early than what I've been doing, but
I might wait to kill me right now. Yeah, Ms. D, what you were saying?
I always enjoy it. I mean, the topics are always good conversations and stuff, so.
Yeah, we missed you on the show, man. You gotta get it back. The other, like, couple weeks ago, I had your boy Driz on here. Oh, Miss G, I gotta let you know, Driz told me he got saved, too. Yeah, he got saved. He told me that 2 days ago. He got saved. He gave his life to Christ. Hey, Cheetah, you got some noise going on in the background, bro.
I'm happy for him. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah. Driz got saved, man. Shout out to my man Jay Rez. Told me the other day. He actually told me Sunday. I think it was Sunday. He told me Sunday. Then he told me again. Then we had a conversation again. He said he gave his life to Christ. He reiterated to me, and I told him we've been working on it for about 4 years, man. It's about time.
I know, but you know what? It takes patience. It takes patience. And, look, and he came through. Oh,
right.
Man, that is awesome. You should tell him to
give
come
him
on the show.
Yeah, I definitely would do that. You gotta give him a shot. Tell him when you get him on Facebook or something, let him know.
Yeah, I will. I sure will.
Definitely. Yo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
To my man Tito, the professor, any last words, bro?
Oh, well, it's always good to get some fresh perspective on lots of the stories in the Bible. I really enjoyed this one.
Yo, I want to give a shout out to everybody that definitely called in my tuners. Even though I don't understand why some of the people who tune in don't never want to call and actually join the show. But I definitely appreciate the followers. Everybody, again, thank you for listening in. And, we're going to sign out. C1 Music, Died Up from the Familiar. My last words of advice is, listen, I think the moral of the story here is whenever Satan comes to put something or plant something that you know ain't right in your head, you know what I mean? Don't listen to Satan. Always go with the intuition of following and having faith in God, regardless of whatever it is, whether it be something minor as counting your men, something great and big, you know what I mean, as making big decisions. When you are the king, like David was, you're responsible not only for your family but for other people. So the decisions you make also affect other people. And the decision that he made to count the men affected not only him, but all his men and his kingdom. So, especially with people who want to become leaders, and remember, you got to keep that in mind, that the decisions you make can always affect other people, including family, but also the people that you lead. So, choose wisely and have your faith in God at all times. On that note,
Amen.
On that note, I'ma holler at you. Get at your boy. I appreciate y'all calling in. This is C1 Music, Died Up from the Familiar, and we signing out. Y'all have a good night.
Everybody, good night.
Yeah. Everybody have a good night, and we out of here. Later.
Baby, I know you're feeling me, but hold up. You're moving kinda fast, you gon' have to slow your roll up. You so drunk. She said I had a bit to sip, but so what? No, so what? Now that you was tipping that Patron up with no cup, I watched her take the bottle to the head, cop the adios, and now you're trying to vominos instead. It got your body going, trying to hop in someone's bed, and you fire, but I'm fighting off the thoughts that's in my head. Yeah, baby, I'm only human. I got some more improvements to do, and to tell the truth, shorty, who knows where you been? Now I've been the average cat would think if I hit, I win, but I'm a Christian, so it gets to me whenever I sin. Plus you gon' regret it. I know you want it, but I'm sure it's the Patron that said it. I know how gone your head is, and plus I'd hate to take advantage of your mind state. And even if we did end up in my place, what about tomorrow? When you wake up, baby,
you have no one to love you. When that Patron is out your system, and you feel so, what about tomorrow? When I wake up and I realize what I've done, who wins? There's no win, no win, no win, no win. Nah, she calling me a square. Guess she like me better if I knock her down and leave her there. But that ain't me, and I ain't him, and me no care. She think I'm scared. Before I jump in Satan's circle, I much rather be a square. She swear up and down that she sober, and she is not affected by the crown in her cola. She Folgers, she so up, toe down, toe up, and I could easily take her down and get over. But I'm bound by Jehovah to hold her close and entertain her, and keep her with me so she don't go roll up on some stranger and offer up her body, and they'll say I'm a hater. But had it been a sister, then they be like, thanks bruh. See, I don't mind the hatred, long as my God is saying he's proud of how I played it. Serving's my occupation, so how could I do it clear consciously, knowing she ain't in the state of mind to think, what about tomorrow? When you wake up and you have no one to love you, when that Patron is out your system, and you feel so, what about tomorrow? When I wake up and I realize what I've done, who wins? There's no win, no win, no win, no win.
Choosing misery because we haven't planned to say no to that second helping, or that drink, or that look into the magazine, or getting out of bed in the morning. And so we surrender in the moment to the God of the belly.
Could have been why I should have listened to the prophet, but your little homie told you you should try it. For you knock it and you did it, you got with it, and it felt so microscopic. That's until you tried to quit it and you found you couldn't stop it. Slave now, addicted to the rush. It's what you crave now, can I get enough? You're a Christian on a mission, and the battle here is tough. And the matter that you grapple with is battling with lust. I know, just took another peek into the magazines, dipped another finger in the Vaseline. Flush was on fire, gave it gasoline. And this is just a battle for your average teen. And every human with a beating heart. Every Christian struggles, but we pressing just to meet them all. Supernatural powers running through us cause we need the spark. But we can't determine if we Spider-Man or Peter Parker. And I'm confused now, which one is it? Losers, are we winners? Are we saints or are we sinners? And I'm trying to figure out if we victims or we victors. But I guess it all depends on what you cooking up for dinner. I'm gone. This power's running through my veins. I can change if I want to change. Temptation driving me insane. Welcome to the Hunger Games. They say you is what you eatin', and you really love God. You been shining like a beacon, and you solid. You got knowledge. You been walking in your freedom, and you faithful through the week, but you be fighting on the weekends. I know the Christian life's a struggle now. Friday night is popping in the city, life is buzzing now. That's about the time you used to call out for another round. Now you gotta choose between life and the underground. Feel like you owe it to yourself, don't you? Sin is magnetic when it pulls you. Trying to pull away, but it keeps pushing. And you want it bad, but you know it's poison. Like my God, I feel so powerless. Crying out to heaven, saying, Jesus, I know I'm a mess. Looking at the hours left, Jesus, get me out of this. Cause you know we lose it if we try to fight in our own strength. Screaming, God save me, God save me. I know I gotta die daily if I need deliverance from gluttony and fine ladies. I know I'm winning with the strength that God gave me. This power's running through my veins. I can change if I want to change. Temptation driving me insane. Welcome to the Hunger Games. Yeah, you winning, man, you winning, man. Victory in Jesus and you strengthened in the inner man. Yeah, we get from Jesus when we playing down at Winter Jam. Cause we wanna help him to come up with a preventive plan. Yeah, preparation is the key. I monitor my diet just to make it through the weekend. Man, I know that all my strength is gonna be based on what I eat. So then if I deny my belly, then I'm faithful. When I'm weak, I'm gone.